The king's greatest passion was collecting crowns. To satisfy his greed, he rampaged across the land, burning, killing, and looting without mercy. He resorted to all kinds of despicable methods just to snatch more crowns. But in the process, he ended up chopping off his own finger. One day, the king arrived at the kingdom of mice. Hearing of his arrival, the Mouse King surprisingly welcomed this uninvited guest with enthusiasm. Yet, the king showed no courtesy and immediately tore off the Mouse King's skull. He proudly wore it as a crown on his head. With the Mouse King dead, his subjects were left homeless. Having no other choice, they flocked to the king for help. Feigning kindness, the king set a piece of cheese on a mousetrap, planning to catch all the mouse refugees at once. He then hid at home, secretly watching the scene unfold. Meanwhile, the king of the Pumpkin Kingdom had just woken from his sleep. Before he could even stretch, the king appeared, picked him up, and smashed him into pieces. And just like that, the Pumpkin Kingdom's crown fell into his hands. However, the vegetable crown didn't last long and withered away due to lack of nutrients. At this point, he turned his attention to a newly emerged Fly King. Without hesitation, he skewered it with a fork. Looking at the tiny crown on the Fly King, he decided to wear it as a ring. Next, the king ventured to the Snake Kingdom. With one swift kick, he knocked off the Snake King's crown and easily claimed it. By now, he had taken nearly all the crowns on land, but he still wasn't satisfied. So, he dove into the sea and snatched the Fish King's crown without a second thought. Even then, his greed knew no bounds. When he saw the massive crown atop the mountain god's head, he immediately grew envious. He returned home, gathered a large army, and launched an all-out attack on the mountain god. But no matter how hard he tried, the mountain god remained unharmed. Thinking quickly, the king used a launcher to catapult himself into the mountain god's crown. To his surprise, the inside of the crown was filled with blooming flowers. The intoxicating pollen only deepened his desire for the crown. At this moment, he became delusional, thinking the crown on his finger belonged to someone else. So, he drew out a dagger. In the end, the king bled to death inside the mountain god's crown.